Hello, everyone. This is John Gonzalez for MLive.com, the Going Gonzo Show, which you can hear us on the radio weekdays at 1 o'clock on News Talk 1340 WJRW. Right now, we're giving you a special weekend version of the Going Gonzo Show because we're on the road, on the search for Michigan's best brewery. Joining me in the car as we are going from Lansing, from the Eagle Monk Brewery and Pub. We are heading up north to Mount Pleasant and then finishing the day in Big Rapids. Joining us in the car is our designated driver, Fritz Klug. We'll introduce you to him in a minute because he's busy driving and navigating and looking at his GPS. And sometimes you just got to pay attention to the road, Fritz. You don't pay attention to anything else. Watch the road. Who cares what Siri says? Yes, focus. And also with us is Amy Sherman. She's from the Great American Brew Trail, local chef, local beer expert, and been with us just about on every stop of this tour. Amy, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about what you just said, that I've been with you, and then you hesitated every stop of the tour. I've been with you forever, John, it feels like.
Yes. Well, last night I was wondering if we were kind of got sick of us.
Oh, I did not at all. I feel so bad that you felt that way. I just was really tired after visiting all 6 breweries yesterday and drinking probably, 50 beers? 60 beers?
Well,
I was just exhausted, John.
Well, we did do 6 breweries yesterday, and let me tell you, folks, we did 3 in the Kalamazoo area on Tuesday. I thought, you know what, this is really fun and doable, right? And then in Grand Rapids, we did only 4 in one day. But we've had a couple of days of 6 breweries in one day, and that's a lot.
It was a lot. It really was a lot. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. We didn't have to spend too much time in the car, which definitely made it a little bit easier. But it was a long day.
Long days, but definitely a lot of fun. Again, we're on the search for Michigan's best brewery, MLive.com. We've been to 2 breweries today, Sunday, September 22nd. And, two interesting, different little places, right, Amy?
Yeah, they were. Bad Brewing in Mason, which is a newer brewery. They haven't been open super long. They opened last year, I believe he said in June or July. Cute little place in a historic building right downtown Mason, Michigan. They've got a small system, but they have an incredible variety of beer, I think, didn't you? Yeah,
they offered up a great selection. I think we sampled 14 different beers, and that's pretty unusual.
Let me explain why we sampled 14 beers.
Go ahead.
Because Mr. Gonzo has a problem with the number 13, and they had poured us 13 beers, and so he complained and asked if they would please serve us one more. Well, are you superstitious?
I am, but I didn't complain. All I said is, do you have any more?
Right.
Is there any one more beer?
Right, because, 13 beers wasn't enough. Right. But I have to say thank you for doing that, because the last beer they brought out was my favorite beer.
Yeah, and that was, what was that exactly?
That was the one that was supposed to be a Belgian triple, and then he didn't have the right yeast, so he named it Bastard because it wasn't quite the style it was supposed to be. And then that was the one that he had used the Amarillo hops in.
Yeah.
And those guys are hopheads there.
They are.
Super hopheads. They had 8 different IPAs. That was one of them. I think it was an IPA, kind of a hybrid, but it was a spectacular drinking beer. Wonderful flavor. Those Amarillo hops are really special, and as we've learned on the trail here is that they're very hard to find. So if you want to give it a try, that type of hop, head on down to Bad Brewing in Mason.
And if you're curious where that's at, Mason is located just south of Lansing, north of Jackson, off of US 127. Cute little town. We stopped in a little department store there where there was candy, and it felt like just kind of this old, kind of classic Americana neighborhood.
It was super cute. Yeah, that general store next door was awesome.
Yeah, we had a great time there. And if you're curious about where Eagle Monk, and that's where we went to Delta Township, it's actually Eaton County, just west of Lansing, downtown Lansing, but over in the next county, Lansing is in Ingham County. Eagle Monk, kind of in this, just in the middle of nowhere, really. Did you think? It was just kind of out there.
Just out there, yeah. It's on the edge of Lansing city limits. It's kind of out in an industrial park area, so it's not really where you'd expect it to be. You have to seek it out. But a cool, funky little place. It's like a down-home kind of bar. There's not anything fancy. The owner redid everything himself. It's just a great little public house to go drink with some friends, meet the locals, and try some of his really pretty good beers.
Yeah, great beers. He did a great job there, and just with the system he had, it was 7-barrel, right?
Yes, a 7-barrel, but it's one of the smallest 7-barrel systems I've seen. He's kind of got it all pieced together, like a lot of the guys do. But he managed to fit, I think, 6 tanks in his cooler. I mean, he's got it figured out there. He's also making wine and one of your favorites, mead.
Yeah, I was happy to hear him say he's making mead. He put atomic fireballs, those little fireball things, in some mead.
I think we might have to go back and try that.
I know I will for sure because I love myself a good mead. Hey, if you're just curious about what's going on, we're wrapping up today's trip on our search for Michigan's best brewery for mlive.com. We'd love to hear from you. So if you want to give us some feedback, if you're reading or listening to this from the MLive story on mlive.com, and you're listening to this at a time where you can still join the chat at 6:30 tonight on September 22nd, 2013. Amy and I will be broadcasting live from Crankers in Big Rapids. If all the technology goes okay and it all works, Fritz Klug is the man behind the scenes, our designated driver. He'll pull it all together. We'll take maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. We'll talk about the whole trip, how it all came together, some of the highlights, lowlights. And by lowlights, I'm not talking about the breweries. I'm just talking about getting from place to place. Because we had a couple interesting moments along the trip.
Or about the bottle of Tums that is riding shotgun with us.
And just for proof, that's the Tums there. We will give you that information. And we'd love to hear your questions. So if you want to, ask a couple questions, please do that. Leave a comment here on the mlive.com blog that you see right now on the site if you're listening to it. If you are coming at us through Twitter or Facebook, a different social media way, and you still have time, leave us a message on Facebook or on Twitter. On Twitter, you can find me at Michigan Gonzo. Fritz is basically Fritz Klug, and Amy is Amy on the Trail. Of course, all on Twitter. On Facebook as well, you can look for the Going Gonzo show page, or you'll look for me, John Gonzalez. And Amy, you have a page too as well, right?
Great American Brew Trail. They can look it up there. And you can look it up on my Amy Sherman page as well.
There you go. And Fritz, you're on Facebook too, right?
I am. Fritz Klug.
Oh, there he is. Friend him. You want to friend that guy right now, folks. I mean, get it while you can. Ask us whatever question you have. And if you don't get into today, tomorrow, the Going Gonzo show, which airs weekdays at 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 on News Talk 1340 WGRW in Grand Rapids. Tune in on Monday. The show will be devoted to the whole trip as well. Scott Winters will be joining us as the co-host. Amy, are you going to come by tomorrow's show?
Are you asking me?
Well, I'm assuming you are, but I didn't want to be pretentious and just say,
I guess I could spend one more afternoon with you, John.
Well, I feel bad that you're going to have to spend more time with me, yeah.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'd love to come and be on the show again.
Well, I just didn't know if you had something going on.
Well, I'll have to check my calendar when I get home. I am pretty popular.
Well, check it right now. I know you are popular. And speaking of things that are popular, Fritz, everywhere we go, what are they talking about?
They're talking about the T-shirt I'm wearing.
Oh, gosh. You need to look. This is show prep. Remember what we went over in the show prep? Everyone is talking about what?
I don't remember.
This show prep is not working here, folks. They were talking about Amy's drinking boots.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the boots. And I posted a photo on our website of the boots. They're really cool. I really want a pair.
I asked you what size you were.
Amy, where did you get those boots?
I actually got these in Grand Rapids. There's a place on Diamond off of Wealthy called IC Creations, and the girl who owns it's a vintage resale shop, and she's obsessed with cowboy boots, and she has hundreds of pairs, and she hand paints them, and they're pretty spectacular.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're such a talking piece, right? Everywhere you go, everyone wants to know about your boots.
Well, they're my drinking boots.
They're
so
drinking
the lady in the
boots.
elevator this morning at the hotel, it was 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
She asked me about them. I'm like, yeah, these are my drinking boots. She's like, did you already start?
You said, well, yes, I did, but I just don't
No,
remember.
I had not, John.
Well, you haven't stopped. That's the thing. It's been nonstop.
Hey, I stopped last night when I didn't come down to your guys' room to drink more beer and watch the Tigers game, okay?
We've been outed. That is true. We invited Amy back to our room to drink with us, and we waited. We kept the door propped open, Fritz, and she just never showed up.
I know. I was really nervous that we would both pass out because they're so tired, and the door would be cracked open, and then who knows what would happen. I mean, it was a crazy. That was a fun hotel we stayed at, but yeah, it's hard after driving all day and even not drinking during the day and drinking all the soda and everything. But you're so exhausted that you crack open that first beer at 11 o'clock and you just want to pass out. I had work to finish that thing.
That is true. I don't know if I ever did finish that thing. What a night, though, in sports, though. A big win for the University of Michigan. They almost lost that game. And then, of course, the Tigers in that big come-from-behind win. Amy, did you get to the end of the games there in your hotel room?
Yeah, I watched the end of the Tigers game. What was it, 12 innings, right?
I think it was 12 innings, yeah.
Yeah, it was a late one. And then I watched the end of the Michigan game so I would know what kind of mood my husband would be in when I got home.
Yeah, and we've been away from our families. Fritz is away from his pictures of his mom at his apartment.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Right? You have a picture of your mommy, right?
Yeah, and all my computers and and
You have pictures
stuff.
of your mom and your computers.
Well, no, pictures. That's good. I did have pictures of my computers, but no, just that. And clean clothes is another big thing. I mean, because I didn't know how many days we were going to be gone, John.
That's what
So I
I've been
packed for
smelling.
one day less. So today's an adventure.
And I thought that was me. I was like, man, something's going wrong here. But it's been Fritz the whole time. Although I will say this, Amy, I'm glad you didn't come in last night because as soon as we walked into our room,
Yeah.
Fritz just like shed his clothes for the most part. Okay, covered all the most important areas, but he did not cover his feet. I mean, he had his feet propped up, and I'm like, whoa, hey, come on, caveman. It was just.
It was a long day.
And I didn't know before the trip. I never knew that I snored.
You didn't?
You broke it to me, John.
Oh, man.
This just in, folks, in case you're just curious, Fritz Klug does snore. All right.
Ladies in the UP.
I see a sign for the Soaring Eagle Casino, the Moody Blues in concert September 28th, which means we're getting closer to Mount Pleasant. That's our next stop. We're going to the Mountain Town Station, I think, right, Amy?
Well, yeah, we're either going to Mountain Town Station, which is the brew pub for Mount Pleasant Brewing Company, or we're heading to their production facility where they also have a small pub, which is just on the outskirts of Mount Pleasant. So they haven't quite told us yet. I'm hoping Mountain Town Station because it has a great restaurant attached to it. Camille's on the river, and then they have food in the pub, and it's just a fun, cool place right downtown Mount Pleasant.
Well, we're going to find out exactly where we're going. I know for sure we're going to end the day in Crankers at the brewery there in Big Rapids. 6:30 p.m. tonight. If you're just tuning in, September 22nd, we will be broadcasting live on mlive.com. Go to mlive.com, search for Michigan's Best Brewery. You'll find the story there and photos and just everything, video from our journey all this week. It's been a lot of fun. Can't wait to catch up with Amy and kind of go through the tour and kind of what we're looking for Michigan's Best Brewery. Also, let's see. Are we running into anyone else in Mount Pleasant? Do you have some friends joining us, Amy?
I don't know. I don't. Not that I know of, but I am good friends with the brewer Kim at Mount Pleasant. I'm excited to see him.
Okay.
And then the guys at Crankers, Adam Mills. Wait till you see how he can sing in his brewery. It's awesome.
We'll have to get video of that.
Sing.
Yeah, Fritz. They sing. Not like the way you sing your show tunes. We find out way too much about each other on these trips.
Absolutely.
Fritz likes show tunes, folks. All right, thanks again for everything, everyone. Have a great day. Don't forget to come back 6:30 p.m. tonight, September 22nd on mlive.com. We'll give you the lowdown on what's happening on the tour. And also tomorrow on September 23rd on a Monday, the Going Gonzo show on News Talk 1340 WJRW. We'll have the show and give you more behind the scenes of Michigan's Best Brewery Tour 2013. We'll talk to you later, everyone. See you soon.